You're listening to Sex with Emily. I'm Dr. Emily, and I'm here to help you prioritize your pleasure and liberate the conversation around sex. Okay, today's episode is with my special guest, my mother. We talk about the ever-evolving world of modern dating, what's actually going on, what can we learn from it. She had a lot to say on that. So whether you're here to decode dating jargon, enjoy very candid mother-daughter conversations about sex, or just delve into complexities of modern relationships, this episode has something for you. I'm so excited to host my incredible mom, Susan, and I hope you enjoy the episode. Okay, Mom, you're burning to talk about this. What?
Well, this morning we were doing our walk and we started talking about how women don't think about what they really want for themselves. How we're raised from the time we're young to think about, are we pleasing our parents? Are we pleasing our teachers, our siblings? We become mothers. Are we pleasing our children? I wanted to work. I wanted to be out there. And every time I did, your dad said, no, no, no.
He wasn't. Well, it was a different time.
He wasn't. He married the old me, and then the new me started to evolve. And to his benefit, he wasn't prepared for that.
But do you see this happens with so many couples, right? We change. If you're not growing and evolving, you're dying.
I agree.
So when I look back and I look at current day me and how I was in relationships then, I've always known that I really need my time. I really like hanging out with my friends. I love a little space. But yet, once I get into a relationship, it doesn't ever seem there's room in relationships to state who you truly are. Because we have this one model of relationship that's like, you get together, you have the same, you want the same things, you bend over backwards to fit into each other's lives, and then you kind of lose a lot of yourself.
That's the thing. I mean, to think that you're going to meet somebody in your 20s and it's just going to be a walk in the park is a joke.
Right.
It's not a walk in the park for anybody.
For anybody. It really
and so
isn't.
when you see people and they're holding hands and they seem happy, they've either done the work or they're seeing therapists or whatever.
Right.
It's not really accurate.
It's all a struggle for everybody. But still going back on that, what I think I did fine though, now is that that's actually really who I am. Like I'm okay not having kids. And you're right, back at that time, now it's very common for like Gen Z and millennials are all saying they're marrying a lot less frequently than our generation, your generation, and they're also they don't want kids.
Right.
We never heard anyone say that before.
Right.
I feel like that probably was hard for you.
So going back, did I think about, oh, I really want to have kids? No.
You didn't have a choice.
All my friends were having kids, and okay.
That's time.
I've been married 3 years. This is the plan. You can have kids.
What about paradox of choice? It's like we almost have too much choice. Like I feel like your generation was like you had no choice.
No.
But then we get the right of like the second wave feminism where it's like, okay, well we can do anything, we can work. We almost had so much choice. In a way, you got the kids, you got great kids.
I got great kids.
So, but I see there's less choices. You think we're better off now?
I don't know.
What do you think about
I think that the verdict is still out. I think the verdict is, sometimes you shift all the way there and then you come back to the middle. I don't know. I don't have the answers. I mean, what's happening now is people decide, well, I really want a career. We're married. We want to travel first and then have kids. There's a lot of that. Mm-hmm. My friends' kids, that seems to be very common. But what happens is, what I'm also seeing is that my friends' children who are trying to get pregnant in their mid-30s can't get pregnant.
Yeah, well, we're finding out now that the birth control pill has been really harmful for so
the
many
fertility.
Women. Your periods, you never get back to your...
I was just listening to a podcast the other day on fertility. And it's so expensive and it doesn't work all the time. And then they go on hormones and it changes your body and mental. It's not good.
Yeah, that's what the birth control pill does. That's why all these young women go on the birth control pill at 18, whenever they go on it. And it changes them forever. Like it changes their hormones that never regulate again. And so now we're seeing this generation of women who think that they just go off the pill and they're going to get pregnant right away. And that's why I'm such a... And also, not even to mention that when you're on the pill, it changes the partner you're going to choose because of the way your hormones are and the way like you pick up scent and you pick up different connections with people. Like the studies show that that for all these women who were on the pill, they were less attracted to their partners when they went off the pill, that you would choose a different mate.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
It also impacts your mental health for sure. I remember I went on the pill when I went to college. Do you remember this? Freshman year, I went to college and I went on the pill. And I remember like my boobs, I was like, that was the best part of it. They were like large. And I remember calling you like, Mom, I have to go buy bras. Can I use your credit card to go buy? Because it was like my whole body changed. But then I remember feeling anxious for the first time. And I just thought that was college. But, it just messes with
It does change.
I feel like now all this stuff is becoming so much more commonplace. Like with podcasts and just the media and social media, you could talk about all of it. Now we talk about PMS. We talk about, like, periods used to be so shameful too. Isn't that funny?
Oh my God. My mother used to say, change of life.
The change of life, right.
Or they call it the curse.
They call the curse.
They used to call it getting your period the curse. Think about how horrible that is. Like, that's such a horrible thing that you got your period, even though that's what gives people life, et cetera. What a terrible thing that was.
It's a terrible thing. So women's bodies, everything that happens to us, it's called the curse when you get your period. I never heard that.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, not in my house. My mother never said it, but it was very common to hear people say the curse.
I never heard that for period.
Yeah.
I heard like, Aunt Flo is visiting.
Yeah.
Got
but
a visit from Aunt Flo.
I remember like embarrassment, like when you're dating, or let's say you're young married and you want to have sex and you've got your period, just being able to talk about it or to ask your husband to pick up tampons or whatever, that was like for a man to walk into the drugstore and buy tampons.
I know. Right? We've come a long way.
Long way.
But back then, that's why there was so many struggles around it too. I remember, and also that change. I remember you say to me, like every month I get how it is. You go through PMS and then you get moody, you get cranky. I know every month I would say, oh my God, my life is over. Everything's so hard.
Every month I would like cry. I'd get a pimple between my eyebrows and I'd cry.
Yeah.
I
get a pimple and cry too.
And I call my girlfriend and I'd say, oh, I'm so tired. And she'd say, you're getting your period. And I'd say, I am? Like, it's so stupid, like every month.
Right. And I think that
it's always a surprise.
It's always a surprise. You have your period 12 times a year.
Yeah, it was always a surprise.
You're shocked. That's why I'm loving them. I'm taking all of these like Solar. They make these really great supplements for every stage. So now I remember I take like their PMS and menstrual one.
Oh, they didn't have those.
They didn't have that. So I don't have to think about it now because it helps you to regulate all of that.
I would have loved that.
I know. And then they have one for libido. They also have it for perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. And like all of these are like hot flashes, night sweats, sleep, mood.
I have girlfriends who would be really interested in that.
So Mom, so PMS and menstrual. I love this because monthly support for a happy cycle, breast tenderness, that always happens to me.
Always.
Yeah.
I used to get that too.
I know. You get, isn't that funny? Menstrual discomfort. Okay, this helps with your mood, your energy, and relieve the symptoms. So I'm bloated.
Always.
I hate everyone. Does it help me with that? And it helps with, I get cramps.
Right.
So what it does is, and it's non-hormonal, so it just helps regulate everything. And then libido. This is good. It helps with your natural lubrication. This one, there's stages for your libido too. It happens at any, you know what the thing about libido is though, Mom? It happens at every stage. Like not just when you're older. I feel like it happens, and this is the thing about women to normalize, is that your libido fluctuates different months, different times of the month. Did you find that different times of the month when you got your period, that you wanted sex more than others?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember. It's been a long time since.
I know. So this helps that. And then perimenopause. Hot flashes, night sweats. I've taken this. I take Solar and it doesn't. And so now I don't get any of that. Like it's gone. Like the hot flashes. So I don't have to change the night sweats. I never had hot flashes. I get the night sweats. What did you get?
I didn't get night sweats.
How'd you get nothing?
No. I had hot flashes.
Oh, okay. I got night sweats. See, we're different, but so related in other ways. But it just makes me feel like I'm actually doing something about it to help, because otherwise, Like there wasn't anything like this. This is
Nothing.
why.
I think it's wonderful that I only wish that they had this.
Yeah, you had to. It was like, I've got the curse and that's
Oh
it.
my God.
And then you feel bad. And then you feel shame. You like bleed on your pants or you're having hot
It's
sweat. And the
terrible.
women,
I was so tired.
yeah, I get so tired too.
Yeah.
After I got periods, I want to take to bed.
When I first started,
Yeah.
they didn't have ibuprofen. So you get your period and, maybe you would take aspirin, but there was nothing to take. You'd use hot water like a heating
water
pad.
heating pad?
Heating pad.
Oh my God.
It's like I was a prairie woman. I look at all this stuff. It's like, oh my God.
No, we take this. We take like something for it.
I
And
know.
I don't get the cramps anymore. I don't
I would have loved
I
it.
know.
That was one thing that birth control did was that the cramps. You didn't have the cramps.
Well, it helped with the cramps, but then you'll never get pregnant, and you'll no, you might get pregnant, but it's just
Well,
really
yeah.
tricky what it does for your mood. Anyway, so I love this, Mom. I'm going to send you a box. I think you got a box.
Yeah, I did get a box the other day.
What I love about Solaré, why I was like, that's just so brilliant, is because we go through these different stages of life. And now we can talk to our friends about it, but we really didn't before. But just having an open dialogue is the most important thing we can do to so we don't have stigma around it anymore.
Oh, I know.
I love hearing about your gym friends. How long have you had your gym friends?
I have a group of women. We all have the same trainer.
Okay.
And we all took classes at the same gym. And the youngest one is 20 years younger than me. And I'm one of the oldest.
Okay.
And we are such a support group for each other. We love each other. We support each other. They talk about their kids. I talk about my grandchildren.
Right.
They listen to your podcast. They
Do they
love
make-
you. I mean, it's just really a wonderful group. It's just a wonderful group of women.
Do you guys ever talk about this stuff that you talk about?
Yeah, well,
perimenopause with?
they talk about hot flashes a lot. Like
Okay.
I've got friends who go out for lunch and they're sort of like their hair. Oh, the face turns red and they've got the hair.
You're like, I know. What can they do? I mean, they could.
They may not even know about this. So you just sent me the box.
I sent you the box,
and
Mom.
I'm going to be getting together with them, and they're so open to anything that you like.
Yeah, they bought it all. They bought the lubes. They bought some toys
everything.
and stuff. Okay, so let's give him some. Let's give him some
I will.
Solaré because I feel like just that it's just there, like for libido, all of them. It just helps you with every single stage of life, PMS, perimenopause, menopause, libido.
Anything that helps. It's so wonderful.
I know. Now, I do have to add a disclaimer that the FDA has not evaluated any of these statements, and these products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Additionally, I've personally had a great experience with Solaré, but each woman's experience is unique. The Solaré Her Life Stages formulas shared in this episode are not intended to address every symptom or concern mentioned, but they are designed to provide powerful life stage support. So look, if you're seeking a healthier cycle or mood support, you gotta check out these products. Just go to Solaré.com/Sex with Emily for 15% off your entire order. That's SOLARAY.com/Sex with Emily for 15% off. That's Solaré.com/Sex with Emily. So, okay, we talked about the stages of life. We've talked about how things have changed, culturally and socially, but let's talk about dating for a minute because I thought this would be fun, Mom. Since sex terms, trends are always evolving and changing, I thought it'd be fun to have you guess what these current terms mean.
I'm ready.
Okay. So, breadcrumbing, and I can use it in a sentence. It would be like, have you heard from him? And then my friend would say, no, sometimes he's just like breadcrumbing me.
Wow. I've never heard that. I haven't the faintest idea.
Here's what breadcrumbing is. It's somebody leaving little small nuggets of interest. So they're sending you a text every 3 days, or they're doing just enough to keep you hooked. They're leaving enough breadcrumbs to keep you on the path, but they are not fully committing to a relationship.
Well, screw them.
Yeah. Have you ever been breadcrumbed?
No, because no.
I think I've breadcrumbed. I think I've left the crumbs. I'm sure I've crumbed.
Are you the crummer or the crummy?
And the crummer. Wait, crummy.
The crummy is the one who's receiving the crumbs.
First of all, I literally leave crumbs wherever I go because I am messy. But number two, I'm sure when I was less clear with communication and owning what I want, which was to be a little bit more open in relationships, not jump right into commitments when I was feeling pressured to. As a response to that, I was probably dating several people at a time and wasn't as clear about what I wanted or that I was dating other people. So maybe just to keep them interested, perhaps I might have given them just enough because I wasn't really sure what I wanted.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know that any of this is someone's consciously going, I'm going to do just enough to keep them hooked.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think sometimes it's just like they don't know.
That's why we have
The
to have so much
crummer may not know what they're doing.
Exactly. And we don't know that we're leaving crumbs everywhere. So the thing is that what I like about it, though, what I like about just talking about this is thinking that most people, if they're doing that, the person who's crumbing isn't intentionally going, I'm just going to mess with them. I think we just are so sometimes not self-aware to what our patterns are.
So this is what came to mind.
Tell me.
If you're dating and maybe you meet a couple women or a couple men, and you're, dropping breadcrumbs, maybe you're not sure because you don't know that something better is the next one.
Ooh, the bigger, better deal, we call it. You think that that's it? And do you think if you knew, then you would?
Well, yeah, like they're not sure. Like, I think I'll keep her out there or him out there.
That's the intention of it.
Because maybe next week's date is going to be better. But if case not, I've got this one hanging on.
So when you're, have a lot of people that you're interested in, and then you're just like home one night and you're feeling like I'm alone, you just text a bunch of them and you're like, hopefully, then they text you back. You're like, I'm so desired. I'm so wanted. This person's like, hey, you up? What are you doing? And then it feels really good.
God, that sounds so disgusting. And it also sounds disgusting. I'm so glad. Sometimes I think I'm so glad I'm old.
I know, right? No, but it's a lot. It is true. And what's funny? I was talking to a friend about this recently. I think I went through a period where I felt that I needed a lot of attention from men, from people. I was like, it was really important to me to feel desired and to know that. But then I got over it. I think I started maturing and realizing that that's just another place to get a dopamine hit. Just like people do it with shopping or with drugs or with food. And I was like, I'm going to get attention from men. But I've moved past that. Do you remember? That was kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, DTR. What do you think DTR means? So, well, we've been together. Here's a sentence. We've been together now 3 months. We should probably DTR.
Wow. When I think of the common phrases, they're not the right initials.
Yeah, you probably would. It's called define the relationship. It's a conversation. You've been dating someone and are deciding if something's serious or not. So a lot of people say,
I've had that.
Yeah. You've had those conversations?
Yeah, my husband did that.
What happened?
We were dating we met in June, and in October, I went to see your brother in Arizona where he was in school. And Ed called me. He said, okay, this relationship is costing me a lot of money, and I want to know if you're really serious, if this is a committed relationship.
Oh, okay. How many months in was that?
Well, because he lived out of town, it didn't really count so much, maybe 4 months, 5 months, but he was making an effort because it was like a long distance.
So he was trying to DTR.
So I told him, it's committed, even though I wasn't sure, but I figured, what the heck? I'll tell him yes, and then I'll figure it out.
Just breadcrumb there.
Yeah, right.
Give him enough. So he said yes. Mm-hmm. So that, what happens? Yeah, that's a good point. So that's about 3 to 4 months in is about average. And I think what happens is why this comes up a lot is because people are in this unknown land of, are we dating? Are we not? Is it serious? Should I be dating other people? And eventually there's usually one person who kind of pushes it along and says, okay, I think it's time we DTR.
Yeah.
And then people say, we DTR'd. We define the relationship.
Yeah.
Now, in my history, I was never the one that pushed the DTR. But when it gets put, I always like, oh God, he wants a DTR. Because I was never ready. It always was before my time. And I felt like a lot of times I got a little pressured into DTR. But maybe sometimes it's good for me to get moved along. Someone to say, like, make a decision. Shit or get off the pot, as they say.
Right.
So that happened. Okay, here's another one. Ready? Red flag.
Well, I used to say that to you.
You'd say what?
Like if there was an issue, like he didn't like his mother, I would say, red flag. Is that the same?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else?
Well,
red flags.
If I used to say to you, if he doesn't treat the waiter, if he's cheap with the waitress, he doesn't tip well, or he's rude to the waitress, red flag.
Right.
If he's late, red flag. I had my list.
You did. What else?
And
red flags. Do you have any red flags?
Well, those are the ones, if he opened the door for you, and
Green flag.
green flag. If he didn't, it's changed through the years, but I think those are still red flags.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. I think red flags, people love talking about red flags. They do because it's such a clear delineation. Like it's so binary, like it's an in or an out. But sometimes red flags can be kind of pinky.
But you've got to put them on the bulletin board and know that they're there.
Yeah.
You may not be ready to act on it, but it's in the back of your mind.
Yeah. I'm like, is this a red flag? But like you always told me this too, Mom, the issues you have on the third date, you have forever. So if they're late, they're going to be late.
Yeah.
If they were cheap,
they're going to be cheap.
Right. We know so much. We could just help people right away. We could listen, but sometimes we got to go through it. We got to learn all the lessons. Okay, what about a situationship? Do you know what a situationship is?
Well, I'd have to guess. I would guess that you're in a situation, but you're not sure it's a forever situation. It's temporary.
Yeah, it's casual. Have you ever been in a situationship?
Yes.
How was it?
It was fine because I didn't want it to go any further than where it was going, but it did the trick for well as long as it lasted.
What was the trick? What would it have to do?
Well, I knew I was never going to marry him. It wasn't serious, but it was fun while
there were
it
red
lasted.
flags that you knew.
Oh, my God, so many.
What were they?
Communication, being cheap. I could go on and on, but
Okay.
those were two.
So it did the trick of just companionship for a while.
Yeah, and fun.
Fun.
Just fun. And then when it was over, it was over.
Yeah. Peace out. Situationship. Okay, how about ghosting?
Well, ghosting would be when you stop communicating.
Yeah.
You just disappear.
Unexpectedly, you disappear.
You just disappear.
Yeah. People often say they get ghosted over text. Like even my niece was saying something like, oh, they ghosted me. I'm like, ghosted you? You don't even know them. They're like, yeah, but we sent a snap and they didn't snap back or something. Like we use ghosting all the time when people come.
Right.
So have you ever been ghosted?
Oh, I'm sure, but I can't remember. I was in sales for so many years that if I was ghosted, I wouldn't even know it.
Yeah.
I
You
paid
forget
no
rejection's
attention.
part of a.
Oh, I just rejection.
Yeah, that's the thing about being in sales, isn't it? You really don't. Rejection doesn't really sting anymore.
No, I could be rejected and you could tell me no 19 times. I don't pay any attention.
Wow.
Because that was just part of the job.
Yeah, that is good training.
That is really good training.
But don't you think it still hurts in relationships, though? If someone ghosts you, it doesn't feel good.
Oh, yeah. If there was somebody that you were really interested in, if you really cared.
You know what the problem is? You're right. You know what the problem with relationships, though, with the ghosting thing is that, and I did this, I remember doing this one time. They always say you should take half the relationship of time getting out of it. Getting over it. So if they say there's a math, it's like girl math, they call it, or any kind of relationship math. But if you're with someone for a year, it should take you 6 months to get over it. If you go on one date with somebody and they don't text you, you have about 6 hours left to think about this person and they're done. Like that was a nothing. They don't deserve a lot of your time.
I agree.
People tend to feel so bad about it. What's something I said? Why don't they like me? And they spend months and months over
They have
this
too
one.
much free time.
Maybe, but I think we go in our heads. We're like, why did they ghost me?
Oh.
What did they do?
Just
what did I do
don't
wrong?
call me and discuss it with me because it drives me crazy when
I
people
won't
do
call
that.
you. I won't call you and discuss it with you. That doesn't happen. But what I'm saying is, people gotta let
No,
it go.
but you know what I
We'll
mean.
never know the answer. It's probably isn't about you. It's about them.
Right. And
And if you know that, move on. You don't have a lot of time. Move on with your life. Done. Peace out. I got you, Mom. Okay. What do you think Rizz means? Rizz.
like Rizz.
Mm-hmm.
Rizz means like drama, like razzmatazz.
It could be razzmatazz. It's short for charisma, meaning someone's
that's-
charisma,
yeah.
flirtatious. Like she's got Rizz.
Yeah, I didn't know that word.
Now
but
you will.
Yeah, now I know.
You could say Rizz.
Rizz.
Like, what'd you think of this person? You're like,
Ooh,
that's
Rizz.
good. Yeah,
Except
Rizz.
I have to be with young people who know what the heck I'm talking
But
about.
I'll know now. So do you think that you have Rizz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never used to think so, but I think I've developed it. I mean, I think I do have it,
Yeah.
Because people tell me that.
They say you got Rizz?
They never use
Well,
that
they
word.
will now.
And for my generation, they might say, oh, I really like you. No, I'm kidding.
You got Rizz. Mom's got Rizz. I want to get your t-shirt now.
Well, my 2 kids certainly do.
We've got Rizz.
You both do.
Yeah. So the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
You're right.
Okay. ENM.
Sounds like an ear, nose, and throat doctor. ENM.
Ethical non-monogamy.
What is that?
Ethical non-monogamy. It's when you have an agreed upon non-monogamous or open relationship. You
Got it.
You haven't been yet.
No.
Okay, let's do. Okay, what about cuffing season?
Cuffing?
Cuffing, like cuff.
Cuffing season. I don't know. Fill
So
me in.
during the fall, winter months, when it gets cold, people say, you're going to get cuffed. So you start dating someone, aka become cuffed. So you can have someone when it's cold.
Oh, geez. Go to Florida.
It's depressing, right? Just to be with someone because
Oh,
it's cold
my God.
outside.
Buy a sweater.
Get a dog. Get a dog.
For God's sake.
Yeah, it's a thing though. They're like, oh, you're going to cuff up,
Oh, my God.
right?
I don't think they say that in Florida.
No, that's true. Maybe there's
Because it's warm.
No, but it doesn't have to be about the cold. It's more about the days are shorter. It gets darker earlier. We slow down.
This
We're
is
like
a-
animals, We kind of want to hibernate in the winter,
I
no
know.
matter the
Yeah.
weather. Yeah, I don't cuff. I don't like to cuff any time of year. Okay, finally, pegging.
Pegging. Well, I'm not sure. Pegging would be like choosing.
Yeah, put a peg. Yeah,
Like choosing a person or
you could
picking a
choose.
person.
Yeah, that's true. Pegging, or you could choose a sex act where one partner wears a strap-on dildo and penetrates the other, often
So-
anal sex.
Okay, so that might be a term I won't use.
Yeah.
I can see, I can see me coming home and saying to Ed, "Oh, let's peg."
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, not gonna happen.
I've skipped that.
Okay, cool. Well, you don't have to do everything.
Ugh, thank God.
Yeah. All right, that was great, Mom. Good job. Any questions? Anything else? Anything
I
I need to know?
think you know everything.
I know a lot, Mom, but I owe a lot to you. That's it for today's episode. Thanks for listening to Sex with Emily, and be sure to like, subscribe, and give us a review wherever you listen to the podcast, and share this with a friend or partner. You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, or X, and Facebook. It's all at Sex with Emily. Oh, and I've been told I give really good email, so sign up on sexwithemily.com, and while you're there, check out my free guides and articles for more ways to prioritize your pleasure. And if you'd like to ask me about your sex life, dating, or relationships, call my hotline, 559-TALK-SEX. That's 559-825-5739, or just go to sexwithemily.com/askemily. Was it good for you? Email me, feedback@sexwithemily.com.